This is the Navimow i208 all-wheel drive, and it caught my attention because on paper it promises a very interesting combination. Antenna-free setup, auto mapping, all-wheel drive, smart obstacle avoidance, quiet operation, app control, and a design that should handle more complex lawns without needing a full professional installation. But as always, the real question is not about what the spec sheets say, because well, every robot mower sounds impressive on the website. The real question should be how it actually behaves in an actual garden, with imperfect edges, trees, rooftops, pets, level differences, and all the small problems that never appear in the marketing material. And for this test right here, I actually made this job a bit harder than normal, because I used it mostly without the physical antenna, although I do actually show you how to mount that antenna. So I really got to see how capable the mower really is when relying on antenna-free positioning. One of the biggest features of this Navimow i2 all-wheel drive series robot mower right here is that it can actually work without installing the physical antenna. But there's an important condition here. The antenna-free operation depends on whether or not the service is actually available in your region. The Navimow has a coverage checker on their website where you can actually enter your postcode and pin your location and verify if the antenna-free positioning is available in your area. And I think that is something you should definitely check before buying such a product, because the experience can be different depending on where you live. Connectivity is also worth clarifying here, because this mower does not rely only on 4G. The Navimow app also supports Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and 4G, so you do have actually multiple ways to activate, manage, and control this mower from a distance. Bluetooth helps with close range setup and activation, maybe setting up your yard and stuff like that, because you have to do it manually sometimes. Wi-Fi is useful for normal home connectivity, and 4G gives you the faster and more flexible remote layer, especially for app control or out-of-boundaries alerts and real-time GPS tracking when you're not right next to the mower. It also comes down to if you have Wi-Fi available in your yard or the area where you want to use this mower, because if you don't have Wi-Fi coverage, then definitely 4G gives you the only option to connect to this mower remotely. Navimow includes 1 year of free 4G data service, and after that it should be at around 29.99 euros per year or so, at least at the moment of shooting this video. So I would treat 4G as a convenience and a security feature, but not as the only way this robot works. And because I actually tested this robot mower without a physical antenna, I wasn't actually using it in some unrealistic way. I was testing one of the main practical advantages of this mower. If your region has coverage, you get started much faster, keep the setup cleaner, and still have the included antenna available if your lawn or location needs it later. The setup process is one of the stronger parts of this mower, because the app gives you clear instructions and walks you through the entire process in a way that feels simple, even if this is your first robot mower ever. If you place the charging base, pair the mower, and follow the steps in the app, and then create a mowing area, it feels much easier than older perimeter wire systems, and also less intimidating than some robot mowers where the antenna placement becomes the most sensitive part of the setup. There's a limited time offer there where you can have a up to 400 euros off, and as well a free garage included with your first purchase. And not only that, if it'd be so awesome and you really want to buy a mower from them, you can access the link directly from the description box below. That has my referral code in there, and you'd be so cool and awesome at the same time by helping a brother out. That being said though, the base placement still actually matters. One thing I learned quickly is that you should not place the charging pad right next to the edge of the lawn, because the lawn mower actually needs some space to create a clean path from the dock to the mowing area. For auto mapping, the base should be a bit further away from the lawn edge, otherwise the mower may not pick up the grass properly when it leaves the pad, and that can make the initial setup more annoying than it actually needs to be. Even though you can use the mower without the antenna, the included one still can be used if you want even greater accuracy. But if you use it, placement is also important for the antenna as well. It needs a clear, unobstructed view of the sky, so avoid placing it under large trees, rooftops, or anything that can block its signal. Also, if you move either the charging pad or the antenna after mapping, well, expect to remap the yard again, because the mower depends on those fixed reference points to understand, well, its working area correctly. Auto mapping is useful, but expectations need to be realistic as well. This is not a magic button that gives you a perfect final map with every edge, tree, flower bed, and awkward corner perfectly understood from the first attempt. In my experience, auto mapping gives you a decent general outline of the lawn, but you still need to fine-tune the edges, adjust the boundary layers, create no-go zones around sensitive plants, and correct areas where the mower interpreted the layout too generally. Although keep in mind that your lawn has to be in pretty good shape, it really nice and defined edges for the auto mapping to work properly. And honestly, I expected that because even on very well-defined lawns, robot mowers usually treat auto mapping as a starting point, not as a final professional map. Once the map is properly adjusted though, the mower becomes much easier to trust because it knows where it should go and what it should avoid, and also how it should move between these two areas or three depending on how large your yard is and how many areas you have actually divided it into. My yard has areas where the signal should theoretically be more difficult, including trees and a section that goes underneath a small roof overhang, but the mower handled those parts much better than I expected and continued working without any sort of stops or maybe acting confused. The all-wheel drive system is one of the strongest parts of this mower and is not just a marketing label. The Navimow calls this system Zero Turn with an X instead of a Z, probably the Z was taken. And the idea is that it should handle more difficult terrain while still protecting the grass fairly well. In real use, that lines up well with what I saw. The wheels provide excellent traction, but they do not feel aggressive on the lawn, and that's exactly what I want. During operation, you can actually see the mower managing wheel behavior depending on the situation, with one wheel turning, another slowing down, and another compensating to help the mower rotate or reposition without tearing up the grass. Although this tricycle style design with steering handled by the rear wheel actually does take a little bit of getting used to when you manually control the mower or adjust the map. But once you get the hang of it, then it really feels precise and very well controlled. Here, the important thing is that it gets the grip without being harsh, and that matters because, well, a robot mower that climbs well but damages the lawn while turning would completely miss the point of having a robot mower. Obstacle avoidance is quite good, but it is important to understand what kind of system you are getting. This is still a more accessible model, so it does not have, a more advanced LiDAR camera system, and from what I could see, it also does not have a traditional front bumper sensor like some other robot mowers. Instead, the obstacle behavior is based mainly on the front camera there and the resistance detection. So, if the mower cannot continue moving forward, it senses resistance, then it adjusts its approach, changes the angles, and of course tries to continue moving around the obstacle it sensed. Navimow presents this as Vision Fence with AI powered obstacle avoidance. And it actually has support for more than 150 obstacle types in its database, so in real use, I would treat this as a useful safety layer, not as something that really replaces careful setup. For larger and more obvious objects, the mower generally handles itself well enough that you don't feel the need to babysit it. But for sensitive plants, small flowers, young shrubs, decorations, and anything you really care about, I would still create avoidance zones manually just to make sure. The mowing performance is solid, and one detail worth mentioning is that this model here uses the upgraded 5 blades cutting disc, which should definitely help with mowing efficiency because more blades are passing over the grass during its operation. The blades are small, replaceable, and double-sided, which means you can definitely flip them when one side starts to wear, extending their usability and life before replacing them completely. There's even a monitor inside the app showing you how many hours it has, and it kind of lets you know before you have to turn them around and basically or get a new one. The mower also gives you 3 speed settings depending on the type of grass and the cut that you want, and that is useful because not every lawn needs the same approach, and being able to slow down the mower or let it move faster gives you some practical control over the results you get. One feature I definitely like is the ability to adjust the mowing angle because the robot mower is very good at repeating patterns, and if they follow the same lines too often, you can eventually start seeing the wear marks in the grass. Another thing worth mentioning is that the Navimow here is extremely quiet. Navimow lists it at around 59 decibels, and in real life, that means it does not dominate the garden like a traditional mower, not even close. You can let it work in the background without it becoming the main event, and depending on your local noise rules, your yard layout, and your neighbors, well, evening or even night mowing becomes much more realistic than it would be with a loud traditional mower. That also ties into the LED array on the front here because, well, the mower is clearly designed to be usable in lower light conditions, and it isn't just perfect for daytime scenarios. I still think though most people will probably schedule this to run during the day, especially because obstacle recognition is generally easier in better lighting, but the combination of quiet operation and front lighting gives you way more flexibility. The official page also lists this as an IP66 dustproof and waterproof rating, which matters because this is a machine that lives outdoor, dealing with wet grass, dust, debris, changing weather patterns, and all the normal abuse that comes with lawn maintenance. Since we're talking about something that doesn't have a wire, obviously we have to talk about the battery life because, well, for me it seems decent. And while I do not describe it as shocking or class leading, it feels appropriate for the type of mower that this is. In my testing on the slowest speed and the most precise mowing setting, it actually managed around 200 square meters of lawn on a single charge, which is a useful context because that setting is naturally the most demanding in terms of time and efficiency. For the remaining area, the mower simply returns to the charging station, charges up until it has enough battery to go back out again, and then goes back out to continue the job, so it does not really need to finish the entire lawn in one uninterrupted run. In that kind of usage, the battery behavior makes sense because, well, the mower can work through its scheduled areas, return to the charging station when needed, and continue this on and on as a part of its regular maintenance routine. The fundamentals are really strong. Navigation is more confident than expected, the all-wheel drive system feels genuinely very useful and good, and the zero-turn design helps it moves without being rough on the grass. And also the antenna-free positioning makes the whole experience much easier to approach if your region actually supports it. The 5-blade cutting disc is also a very nice upgrade, and the double-side replaceable blades also make maintenance simple, and the quiet operation makes scheduling a whole lot easier. Also, this coupled with the IP66 rating gives you much more confidence for outdoor use. While Wi-Fi and Bluetooth handle normal setup and connectivity, and the built-in 4G module adds faster activation, remote control, GPS tracking, and security features, with 1 year of data included if you are willing to spend a bit of time setting up the map correctly, defining sensitive areas, understanding how the robot mower moves, and accepting some perimeter situations may still need manual work, then this Navimow i208 all-wheel drive becomes a very capable, very convenient, and surprisingly confident robot mower. And for the price and feature set, I think that this balance is exactly what makes this so interesting. This is a sponsored video, and yes, I have to thank the guys over at Navimow for being so cool to send me this review unit right here. But don't worry guys, every test that I'm presenting in this video are actually of my own making, and this is the real world, well, expectations that you can have with this sort of mower. Guys, thank you so much for choosing to watch another of my episodes today. You've been absolutely amazing, and yeah, get started taking care of that lawn of yours. And if you don't want to do it manually, maybe this is the way you should approach it. Anyway guys, if you don't want to wait for my next video, there should be one right up here. And until the next one, stay awesome, be cool, and peace out. Bye bye.